No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Please stand and join us. This is who we are, and we feel the love whenever we're together. And this is why we're here, to serve the world and one another. We're being called to find a higher way, and to remember why we're here today, to love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember who we are. This is where we grow and find the truth that always sets us free. And this is where we play and enjoy like-minded company. A place where we can share our joy and pain. A place where everybody knows your name as we love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember who we are. And in remembering to love and serve, we're transforming lives and transform the world when we love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember who we are. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember. Love, serve, and remember who we are. And remember who we are. And remember who we are.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity Renaissance 2019. Does that feel great? Hello to those of you who are watching online today. We're so happy that you decided to join us as part of your Sunday morning and share this wonderful jubilant spirit of a new year unfolding. Feels so good, doesn't it? You know, one of our children said the other day, every day can be like a new year beginning, and that's true, but still there's just something so special when we celebrate it together. The year just stretches before us like a clean slate. So today we'll be setting our intention as we go about our white stone ceremony. You all should have received a white stone as you came in today. If you did not receive one, let's take care of it now. Raise your hand. The ushers will bring you one. We have a few up here. Great, thank you. And those of you who are watching at home, I don't know if you have a white stone or not, but if you don't have a white stone, anything will do. Get a little note card or something that you can easily write on. Well, unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We follow the teachings and the example of our way shower, Jesus, in seeking to more fully love ourselves, love God, and love one another. At Unity, we respect each person's right to find their own spiritual path. In fact, we encourage you to do that, to find the path that is right for you. In Unity, we honor all paths to God, all names for God, and all expressions of God. And each and every one of you shining souls, looking so radiant this morning, each and every one of you is an expression of God. And we know that when we truly realize that about ourselves, when we tune into our own inner divine nature, and we behold that same light in one another, that it just shines all the more brightly out into the world. Our vision at Unity Renaissance is, together, a spiritually awakened world, living in peace, love, and joy. And we are manifesting that vision through our mission, which is, together, we transform lives that transform the world. Let's begin our time together in prayer. I invite you to close your eyes and just breathe in deeply the beautiful energy of this new day unfolding in your life. Release and let go. Know in this moment that you are right where you are supposed to be. You're right in perfect place. Spirit gave you that nudge and you said yes. And we know similarly that as we move into the new year, that Spirit is always nudging us along into our highest good. And so today we just open our hearts and minds wide to receive that divine inspiration, divine guidance, and to set our course for the very best year of our lives. And for all these blessings, for the joy of being together today and sharing our spiritual journey, we are so grateful. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
Little call and response affirmations for the new year. Y'all ready? Give us a stand up.
I am a powerful, creative, spiritual being.
If you believe it, say it back.
I am a powerful, creative, spiritual being. I can create anything I want this life.
How do you feel about that one?
I can create anything I want this life. The universe is on my side and I am love. The universe is on my side and I am love. Now turn to your neighbor and say this. Ready? You are a powerful, creative, spiritual being.
Woo. Say it again. Find someone new.
You are a powerful, creative, spiritual being. You can create anything you want this life. You can create anything you want this life.
The universe is on your side.
The universe is on your side and you are love. The universe is on your side and you are love.
All right, all you powerful, creative, spiritual beings, please join me now in our divinity salute as we turn to greet our neighbors with a bow, a handshake, or a hug. Together, the divine in me greets the divine in you, and we serve and celebrate together for the glory of God.
All right, let's sing this one all together now. Ready?
We are powerful, creative, spiritual beings.
Great job.
Good morning, Unity Renaissance. Woo. Happy New Year, too. So, woohoo! What a wonderful way to start off 2019. It is great to be here sharing the morning with each and every one of you. You know, what an incredible spiritual community and family we have. So thank you for investing in being here and being a part of a wonderful way to start the year. So I'm Heidi Kohlberg. I am a happy, grateful, joy-filled member of Unity Renaissance. And let's go over the daily word because it's really cool. Actually, pretty much everyone I've ever read has been really cool, but today's is too. So our word for today is epiphany. And would you please join me in the affirmation? Today I greet new possibilities now born in me. According to the Gospel of Matthew, Epiphany represents the arrival of the three magi in Bethlehem. Scholars and priests who traveled from the east following a star to greet the new Christ energy. They were the first to recognize the newborn child as divine love in expression. Epiphany is a timely reminder to recognize that same Christ presence in myself. My awareness may feel as small and tentative as a baby at first, but with time and attention, it becomes a part of my being. I am continuously connected to Spirit, one with a higher power far greater than my human self. With this in mind, I discover more of my expanded spiritual purpose as I greet new possibilities now born in me. And this was inspired by Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. After the service, we have amazing prayer chaplains to sit and share with you in prayer for celebration, for contemplation, for support, whatever your needs may be. They can be found after the service in the prayer chapel, which is just to the left as you're coming out. And they can be recognized by their prayer stoles. So would please stand. We've got Grace over here, and she's amazing, wonderful spirits to share. Would everyone now please stand to sing our Lord's Prayer version?
Holy Creator, we praise your name. Your will in heaven and earth the same. Supply our needs, Lord, from day to day. Let your forgiveness light our way. Lead us away from temptation's hold. Deliver us, Lord, into your fold. For all the kingdom, power, and praise, with you began and with you stays. Holy Creator,
Our Father, who art in heaven,
praise your name.
hallowed be thy name.
Your will in
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from from evil.
Temptations
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
into your fold. For all the kingdom, power, and praise, with you began and with you stays. When the holidays are over, history grows another year older. Starting with a midnight wish, we'll raise our glass and reminisce. Another year behind us and a brand new year ahead. Here's to life, it's another year long. And here's to friends, old and new, here and gone. To the lessons we've learned and the bridges we've burned, here's to old Lang Syne. Here's to peace in a world far and near. And to our health, I'm just glad you're all here. To the tears that we cried and the love that survived, and to all a happy new year. To the lessons we learned and the bridges we burned, here's to old Lang Syne. Here's to peace in our world far and near. And to our health, I'm just glad we're all here. To the tears that we cried and the love that survived, and to all a happy new year. And to all a happy new year. Happy New Year.
One winter day in 1985, a group of Tibetan Buddhist monks were deep in meditation in a drafty monastery high in the Himalayas in northern India. And as they were meditating, one of their fellow monks came along and draped over each of the monks who was meditating a sheet that was drenched in ice-cold water. The monks were wearing very little clothing, and it was near freezing temperatures. And yet the monk wrapped each of them in this frigid sheet. Now, this would typically throw the human body into shock. If your body temperature drops even 12 degrees Fahrenheit, one would typically lose consciousness and lose all of your vital signs in a matter of minutes. But rather than shivering, the monks began to sweat, and steam started rising up off of the sheets. And within an hour, they were completely dry. And so the monk who had been passing out the sheets, he came along 2 more times, and each time he would remove the dry sheet and he would drape once again a soaking wet, freezing cold sheet over each of the meditating monks. And each time they were very efficiently dried. The monks had effectively turned their bodies into furnaces to dry those sheets. Now, I don't really know the backstory on this. I don't know if this is how those guys did their drying, dried their clothes this way or something. Or perhaps this was the advanced test of spiritual mastery. But the thing is, there was a team of scientists there from Harvard Medical School. And so they began studying and recording their observations of these monks. And what they had just witnessed astounded them. It seemed that they had witnessed the impossible in terms of mental influence. And they began studying the monks in a lot of different settings, a lot of different experiments, and they found that those monks could raise their body temperature as much as 17 degrees, and they could lower their metabolism by an astonishing 60%. Now, to give you an idea, when we go to bed at night, our metabolism typically slows down maybe 10 to 15%, and the very most accomplished meditator, typically, the best they can do is to lower their metabolism about 17%. These monks were actually duplicating the experience of hibernation. But that day, high in the Himalayas, as they dried the sheets that were put around them, those monks had essentially boiled freezing water through the power of their thoughts. Now, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? Most of us have heard some fairly amazing things about the power of the mind over matter, miracle healings. We've heard about people walking on nails or over coals without getting hurt. We've heard about mothers lifting cars off of toddlers, things that just defy explanation. We've even heard about telekinesis, people being able to move objects around and bend spoons. Remember that, the whole bending spoon thing? Just through the power of their minds. So what this tells us is that the power that we have is almost more than we can even begin to fathom. We have yet to fully understand what we ourselves are capable of with our own minds. Well, in its 130 years of history, Unity has always recognized and indeed even emphasized the power of the mind. One of our foundational principles is what we call the law of mind action. And it says that we basically create our reality through the thoughts that we think. Or as we say it, what we think about, we bring about. We say thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Which essentially means that we, made in the image and likeness of the Creator, we too are creators. And we are creating all the time. You're creating this very moment. You're creating your experience. And so we find that the key faculty we have for creating our reality is our thinking. Particularly when we apply our thoughts to a very specific desired outcome. Now, we saw this demonstrated by Jesus in numerous ways. If you think about it, the stories you've read in the scriptures, of course, turning water into wine, multiplying the loaves and the fish, and actually having the chutzpah to stand outside of a tomb where a man had been in there dead for 4 days and to call out in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out!" And by golly, Lazarus came forth. You see, Jesus was using his spiritual power with a laser-like intention, laser-like focus. If he can do that, imagine what we can do in our own lives by applying our intention like a laser focus to our fondest desire. This is actually talked about now not only in spiritual circles, but in scientific circles. It's really pretty amazing what has occurred, what has been discovered even over the course of our lifetime. So quantum physicists now tell us that we don't just observe reality, we create it. And we create it on a very minute level. You see, the smallest part of matter, the smallest particle of matter is a subatomic particle. And so traditionally, we've thought of this as being something that's a solid mass. But quantum science tells us that no, it's not solid mass. It's actually like a little packet of pulsating energy that's filled with all sorts of possibilities. It could go in many different directions, and what actually gives it form, what makes it seem solid and gives it some kind of appearance, is being observed. Isn't that amazing? That it could just be all sorts of things until we turn our attention to it, which just makes you wonder about a lot of things, doesn't it? Like, are you guys really here? You know, is it just my looking out there, imagining you? And how are we all imagining the same thing? And on and on and on. But the power of the mind, we are constantly creating. We are indeed powerful, creative, spiritual beings. In her groundbreaking book, The Intention Experiment, Lynn McTaggart says this: thought affects physical reality. A sizable body of research exploring the nature of consciousness, carried on for more than 30 years in prestigious scientific institutions across the world, shows that thoughts are capable of affecting everything from the simplest machines to the most complex living beings. She goes on to say, targeting your thoughts, what scientists call intention, appears to produce an energy potent enough to change physical reality. We have that power within us. We have that creative power. We are born with it. And so the question for us becomes, what do we want to create? What do we want to create for ourselves, for our society, and for our world? Well, that's what we will be considering today as we go about identifying our intention. You see, we have the opportunity, actually every day, to set the intention of what we want to have come about. And so as we begin the new year, it's obvious that this is the time that we ask these questions of ourselves. What is it that I most want to create? You see, Robert Frost, he was the poet, as you know, and he used to say that every morning he would get up and make his bed. And while he was doing so, he would make up his mind as to what kind of day he was going to have. You see, today we have the opportunity to make up our minds about what kind of year we're going to have. In the larger context, we decide what kind of life we're going to have. And it all begins with setting our intention. Now, let me clarify, an intention is not the same as a resolution. I recognize that some of you, maybe many of you, have set New Year's resolutions, or perhaps you've set goals. An intention is neither a resolution nor a goal. In my mind, an intention is more about a way of being rather than something to do. So we might affirm or set an intention to be more peaceful, to be in more balance. We might set an intention to be healthier, more prosperous, more compassionate, kinder. You see, state of being that we are holding in mind. And as we identify that intention, we're really setting our direction. We're saying, okay, I'm going this way. And as we connect with that intention and we begin to internalize it, we take it into our hearts, it really becomes cellular. We connect with it. We find while we're holding that intention that the path for getting there begins to surface. Our way is made clear. And not only that, but as we are internalizing this intention and connecting our emotions with it, connecting our heart with it, we find that we begin to attract. Have you ever found this? You begin to attract the resources, the support you need, the ideas, the connections. And I believe this happens because we've raised our vibration. As we really tune in all of our bodies, just like those monks raising their temperature, we're raising our vibration. And a higher vibration begins to attract the very thing we're holding most dearly in our hearts. So I've shared this before. One of my sterling examples of this was in 2006 when I decided to leave my hometown of 27 years, Portland, Oregon, and move across the country to Kansas City, Missouri, because my intention was to become a Unity minister. It was very big when I decided on that. It took some time. It had been moving within me for a while. And finally, I said it. I identified it. And when I did, it had an incredible power to it. It was inspiring. It brought forth my passion. I was just all about that. And the most amazing synchronicities happened. I could not, people would say, oh, you're so brave moving. I didn't feel brave at all. I just felt like I'm just in the flow here. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. People kept showing up. Oh, I know where you can buy a house. Here's where you can apply for a job. That's where you can put your horse. Everything. It was amazing. It was all because I had connected with an intention that really stirred my soul. So there is a formula that we can use to bring our intention into manifestation, and I love it. It's called the I am model. The I am. Intention plus attention equals manifestation. So we set our intention, the direction we want to go, and then we give it our attention. So that means after today, we have your little white stone. It doesn't mean that, hey, that's over now, just put that aside. You continue to give it attention. You continue to work it. And that is how it comes into manifestation. So what do we mean by giving it our attention? You can do that in any number of ways. You can pray on it, your future intention or your current intention. You can pray, you can meditate, you can journal about it. You can put the words right in front of you, so that's the first thing you see when you get up in the morning and the last thing you see before you go to bed at night. You may want to set goals around it. For example, if your intention is to be prosperous, you might find a goal arising for you that you want to get out of debt. A great place to start. And oh, by the way, if you're interested in that, 10-second commercial, we're going to offer Financial Peace University starting in February. Linda Tucci's going to lead that. I don't know if Linda's here. It's an amazing class, and it very much focuses you on how to live more prosperously. It has been life-changing for many of us. It starts in February. Sign-up sheet out there on the hall wall. You can also give attention to your intention by imagining how it's going to feel when it's manifest. Think about how it will feel to be healthier. Think about how it will feel to have strength again. How it will feel to be in harmony and in balance as you go through your daily life. See, as you imagine that, you're bringing it to life in your creative mind, and what you are imagining on the inside then begins to manifest on the outside. Amazing things happen. It's like we're just lining up all the parts of us and moving forward in the flow. So today, in a few moments, we're going to begin this process, the intention, attention, manifestation, by setting our intention. We'll do it through our white stone ceremony. So as you recall, last week, we had our burning bowl ceremony, which was getting rid of what we no longer want. That felt pretty good, didn't it? Anybody feel a little bit lighter because of that? That was great. Now we've cleared the way for our new intention. So today, in a few moments, we'll go into meditation, and we'll just open ourselves up to Spirit. Asking the question, what is my highest vision for the coming year? Who do I want to be? How do I want to live? How is Spirit seeking to more fully express through me? What is this channel I want to open up to realize my highest good? So before we do that, let me tell you a little bit about the White Stone Ceremony. How many of you have not been at White Stone Ceremony before? It's your first time today. Well, there you go. So let me tell you a little bit about it. It actually stems from Revelation 2:17, which begins, "Let anyone who has an ear listen to what the Spirit is saying. To everyone who conquers, who overcomes, I will give some of the hidden manna." We can interpret this to mean that when we conquer our limiting thoughts, when we let go of our false beliefs, we will receive manna. Symbolically, manna means spiritual substance and nourishment. See, because we've opened up to it. We've opened up in order to live the life we've imagined, to live in the kingdom of God, to be happy. And the verse goes on to say, "And I will give a white stone, and on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it." So the white stone actually has a very compelling history. White stones were given out in Jesus' day to prisoners when they were released from prison. They were given this stone to symbolize their freedom. And it also indicated that they had actually been released, that they had served their debt. And as long as they had that stone with them, they were free. And they wrote a new name on it as the person went forward into their life. So it became this symbol for being set free. Does that maybe ring a bell for any of us? As you let go of your old thoughts, as you affirm your highest intention, really, you feel a sense of freedom. Because we are indeed releasing ourselves from the binds of having been trapped in our error thinking, being ruled by our ego. We're breaking free. And in a way, we are stepping into a new expanded identity. You might even say we have a new name. So you, I'm sure, have noticed in the scriptures there are many examples where people have a name and the name changes later in the course of it, Abram, Abraham, etc. The one we're most familiar with is Saul of Tarsus. So Saul gets struck down on the road to Damascus, very symbolic. Gets struck down, and for 3 days he's blind, which forces him to look within. And then when he awakens, he's given a new name. He goes from being Saul, which means personal will, to Paul, which means enlightened will. From the personal ego to the expanded higher self. And that's essentially what we're doing as we let go of what no longer serves us and we step into our highest good, our greatest good. So these stones that you were given today, it's worth knowing, and I think kind of a cool thing, that they actually came from the Holy Land. You probably were given a little card as you came in that indicates that that stone was actually cut from white stone in the area of Hebron, around Hebron, Bethlehem in Israel. And there's a company called Jerusalem Stone that provides them. And so you have this beautiful connection today with history, with Jesus, with the Holy Land, all of those things, just added impetus for your spiritual journey. And so let's prepare for it now. Get ready for our meditation. Ready to invite in our highest good today. I invite you to get very comfortable in your seat. Close your eyes. And just breathe. Breathe in deeply, feeling the energy of spirit throughout your being. And release into oneness. Just breathe. Let yourself become totally relaxed and at ease. Breathing gently. Feeling yourself enfolded by and infused with the love of God. Give yourself over to the perfection of this moment. Behold the divine order that is unfolded in your life up to and including now. Consider that you've been brought to this point in preparation for what is next. The universe is unfolding as it should. And so is your life. Breathe deeply once again. The old has passed away. It has served its purpose. Every event, circumstance, relationship, opportunity, possibility, every challenge, every encounter, everything in your life has served a purpose. You are now at a turning point, ready to be released from anything that might bind you. You are ready to invite your good to come forth. You are ready to be set free into the best year of your life. Gently bring your attention to your heart center and feel the warmth and love of spirit residing there. There is a brilliant perfection coming forth in you. Open yourself to it. Listen for guidance. Who are you being called to be? What is quickening in you? What aspect of your innate divinity is your soul longing to more fully express? What word expresses Spirit's highest intention for you? Breathe and let the answers come. If Spirit were writing on your white stone today, what would it write? Ask. Ask what would be the most helpful quality, word, or name for you to take into this new year. Relax, breathe, stay with it, and listen in the silence. Slowly, very slowly, begin to bring your attention back to the present moment and to this room. And when you are ready, write on your white stone the quality, word, or name that came to you through this exercise as your intention for the new year. Those watching at home, you're invited to write on a piece of paper, index card, something you can keep before you through the year. As you hold your white stone from the Holy Land, know that you've written a word that is very personal to you. Imagine Spirit writing that same word on your heart. And affirm with me silently, I am transformed at depth. I am transformed at depth. I am transformed at depth. You to keep your stone in a place where you can refer to it often so that you can give it attention. And know that the word that came into your awareness today came there in order to be lived into being. Along with the word, you have received the power and the guidance to manifest it. You have the ability to set yourself free. Make this the year. And with that, we go forward into 2019, each of us making a decision. Is it going to be the same old routine in 2019, or is it going to be living the dream in 2019? The choice is yours. Amen. This is a time in our service for the sharing of our love offering. And I invite you to connect with Spirit within you. Those at home, there are a couple of ways you can give by going online. There's also is our wonderful text to give feature now, which you in the sanctuary can use as well. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. And in case you forgot the number,
418-1228.
Again?
That's 540-418-1228.
540-418-1228. All right, will the ushers please come forward? Let's turn to gratitude within. Please join me now in our offertory blessing. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
What's your dream that sometimes seems impossible? Let the voices fade that tell you it's improbable, and hold on to what you love. Just hold on to what you dream of, and you will be unstoppable, because anything is possible
When you believe a dream that sometimes seems illogical. When you try and fall, your dream can seem intangible. Chin up, try again, stand up and carry on, and your dream will become visible, because anything is possible when you believe. Anything is possible. Do you believe? Anything is possible. Believe. Believe. Hey, hey, I believe. Hey, hey, I believe.
That's your part.
Hey, hey, I believe that I am unstoppable. Anything is possible when you believe. Anything is possible. Do you believe? Anything is possible. Believe. Believe.
Sing along now.
Hey, hey, I believe. Hey, hey, I believe. Hey, hey, I believe that I am unstoppable, because anything is possible when you believe. Anything is possible. Do you believe? Anything is possible. Believe. If you believe. Believe.
That was worth the wait, right?
I believe. You believe? Yeah. Let's just take a moment to turn within to gratitude, feeling the many blessings of this day, the blessings of this new year unfolding for each of us. We're so grateful for these gifts, generously support. Sorry. We're so grateful for these gifts, generously shared in support of this ministry. We give thanks for the gifts. We give thanks for the givers. We give thanks for the joy of giving to what we love, Unity Renaissance. And now we send these gifts forth to do God's work in the world through us. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Bravo. This is the time in our service when we welcome those who are new to Unity Renaissance. If you're here today for the first, second, or third time, we invite you to raise your hand nice and high, holding up the appropriate number of fingers, 1, 2, or 3. There we go. She's got the hang of that. Do we have any other newcomers? Keep them up high. 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. Okay. If you're here for the first time today, you'll find a card in your bag there. Fill that out, take it into the bookstore. You get a free CD, a copy of a previous service. They'll get to you. Just be patient. Keep it up. And if you're here for the second time today, you receive 2 CDs. You get positive, uplifting music from Empower Music and Arts, and also Sacred Unity recordings. And for the third time today, you very patient soul sitting there, you get a copy of the Daily Word. So thank you. We look forward to seeing you all again and again.
We have a wonderful book study starting this week with Connie Skidmore, who's going to be going over case studies of the life between lives by Michael Newman. So that's going to start Wednesday at 7 p.m. here. It's a phenomenal book that really kind of looks at life after this physical form right now and our soul's journey through eternity. So, you know, that sparks your interest and intrigue. Please sign up on the hall wall.
It's a great, fabulous book and a wonderful teacher. Connie, raise your hand back there. There's Connie. Sign up on the hall wall for that. And then a week from this Wednesday, I'll be launching a new class based on the book Be Heard Now. It really is about finding your inner voice and expressing yourself, not so much about technical public speaking skills, but it really is tuning into your own authentic self and be able to share that out into the world, whether it's one-on-one conversation, speaking to a group, whatever. It's a very powerful, transformational book. We used it in ministerial school. I look forward to sharing it with you. That'll be on Wednesday mornings from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., starting on January 16th for 5 weeks. With that, I'd like to invite up the wonderful Elizabeth Trahan, who has some exciting news to share with us.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, me and Reverend Paula have been knocking our heads together, and we've created a new group. The group is called Young Adults of Unity. And even though it says young adults, please know that everyone is welcome. No one is excluded. The mission for the group is to find human connection, transformation, and spiritual awakening as we come together. And we'll do a number of things, activities, meals together in this space, but also maybe going out into nature, community outreach, game night, sharing nights, just being an encouragement to each other. If you're interested and you want to give us feedback and you want to knock heads with us, if that makes sense. Give us feedback of what you would like to do. If you're interested, we are going to meet together after the 11 a.m. service.
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today, so January 20th. Okay. Thank you.
So see, Elizabeth, if you want more information, I'm so grateful you're doing this. I've been wanting this for a very long time. It is for everybody, but particularly you younger folks, 20, 30, 40 in there. That didn't used to seem so long. Actually, 50 is starting to sound young, but anyway. Thank you, sweetheart.
Next weekend, we have phenomenal music and some wonderful energy that's going to be here. Singer, songwriter, author, healer, teacher, John Stringer is going to be here. On Friday night, he's actually going to be doing a really cool singing workshop with the Youth of Unity. And then on Saturday night at 7 p.m., there's going to be an amazingly soulful concert here. And then Sunday, he's doing both the 9 o'clock and the 11 o'clock service. And then at 1:30, there's going to be a workshop shifting through the alignment method. Suggested love donation is $20, but come on over and really get your spirit soaring.
And here's a quick hello from John.
Hey, Unity of Renaissance of Chesapeake. I'm heading out from Atlanta, Georgia, and I can't wait to see you for some awesome events through January 11th, 12th, and 13th. I hope to see you there so we can raise the vibration together. Peace and blessings.
Unity of Renaissance. Make a little education effort there.
Oh, it's all good.
He's a joy, though. He just exudes such beautiful spirit and talent. So we are continuing Loose Change Sunday, primarily because the minister forgot to mention it last week. It was Burning Bowl Sunday, but it was also Loose Change Sunday. So we're just going to keep her going here for a while. We'll have it today and also next Sunday. So if you have any loose change around the house, in your wallet or whatever, bring it in, dump it in the big jug that's sitting out there on the welcome table, and that'll just kind of jumpstart our prosperity for 2019. Also, a couple of notes for, that isn't next. Freedom Sing-Along. How many of you came to the Freedom Sing-Along last year for Martin Luther King Day? It was a blast, wasn't it? It was so much fun. There's nothing like singing together, inspiring music. We all know it lifts our spirits, reinforces what we believe in. So we're going to have another one of those on Martin Luther King Day, which is Monday, January 21st. It'll be at 7 p.m. Please mark your calendars, plan to join us. Here's just a little peek at what that was like last year. It's all around love between my brothers and my sisters. Big fun. So join us. us for that. And today after the service, we have two things going on. First of all, we invite you to stop by the welcome desk and just take a moment to jot a note to an inmate. We are in contact with some folks who are in jail and prison, and you have no idea how much even just a sentence or two of encouragement and support can mean to them. Affirmation, believing in them, that sort of thing. So thank you to Lynn Klein for coordinating that. I'll be out at the welcome desk. And then also today, probably around 12:30ish, we're going to have our first meet and greet with our board candidates right in here. We have 4 candidates running for 3 open positions. So please plan to come back and hear what they have to say, ask them any questions you might have. We will have the election for the new board members on January the 27th at the Uni Renaissance annual meeting. You all want to be at that. It's going to be a watershed meeting. This week, our Board of Trustees unanimously approved presenting to the congregation a recommendation for the construction and the funding of our new expansion. Right out there, our new education wing, kitchen, bathrooms, fellowship hall, all of it. So please come and let your thoughts be known on that as we take a membership vote and prepare to move forward with breaking ground in the spring. And with that, we'll say goodbye to those who are watching online. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you again next week. And now let's welcome in our children.